Resolved, medical marijuana should be legal in all states. People don't think about how many others are using medical marijuana today. But really, over 1 million people in the United States are using medical marijuana to help survive or to treat a deadly illness that may be spreading worldwide. People think of marijuana as an illegal drug, but medical marijuana has way more benefits when prescribed to somebody for medical reasons. Marijuana for medical use should be legal in all states because it helps deadly illnesses. According to Lynn Landsman, marijuana treats symptoms of serious diseases including AIDS, glaucoma, cancer, multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, and chronic pain. People are not taking advantage of this medicine that can help save lives. When people hear the name marijuana, they think of a bad drug that whenever it's used, it's bad. And there's always bad things that can happen when it's used. But really, it can help more than it hurts. We are in debt trillions of dollars, but if we make marijuana a business, it will help our society. Based on our research, Mary Poles of the Portland Press said that for every 8 ounces of high-grade marijuana is $40 for the cannabis. That means that for every 8 ounces that's sold, that's $4 to the government because of the 10% tax on marijuana. This will help get us out of our debt, and it will help the others in need, including homeless shelters and elders. It will also help everybody in the community with construction workers and road workers. You may hear stories on the news about how somebody died because they found some easily accessed marijuana. However, this marijuana was not for medical use, and it did not come in a childproof case. If we had medical marijuana, it would come in a pill form, which would come in a childproof case. And I'm sure when we were all younger, we tried to open a childproof case and had some difficulties. The government is focusing too hard on the people who misuse marijuana and not the people who may need it to survive. Evidence shows that marijuana is life-changing. Would you want to be missing on something that could change your life?
My opponent may say that marijuana is bad, but there are some other benefits that are less harmful, or alternatives that are less harmful. Holy basil is a good alternative to marijuana because it has the same benefits but less harm. Marijuana is very addicting, and if you take high doses, it can cause anxiety, depression, and lung disease. Therefore, marijuana hurts more than it helps.
Marijuana is created from the dried, shredded leaves of the cannabis sativa and is currently the most common illegal drug used in America. 20 out of 50 states, including our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., uses this drug as a medical supplement. This medical supplement is used to help people in need who suffer from pains ranging from multiple sclerosis, nausea from cancer chemotherapy, seizure disorder, and muscle spasms. Sadly, this drug has a dark secret hidden behind the idea of just pain numbing. Marijuana can cause distorted perception, impaired coordination, difficulty thinking and with memory, and struggle with problem solving. This effect can last for days or even weeks. Marijuana does not just only hurt you mentally, it also hurts you physically. Marijuana can infect your lungs and cause a heightened risk of lung disease. This resembles what tobacco smokers suffer from. It also is associated with increased rates of depression, anxiety, and schizophrenia, according to the NIDA, or National Institute on Drug Abuse. Allowing only certain people to use this drug will lead to rebellion. In the year 2007, 14.4 million admit to illegally smoking this drug. Since then, it has raised to 18 million in the year 2011. 94 million people have admitted to using it at least once in their life. 5.4 of those people smoke it daily, according to the U.S. Department of Human Health and Services. The illegal smoking isn't just tame to adults. It also reaches kids as well. It also reaches kids as well. In my neighborhood, I know children who do smoke this drug, and they suffer from addiction. This drug is not just used, but it is also sold for profit. This is a problem because multiple people People, this is a problem because people can end up in harm's way when selling drugs. Medical marijuana is used to help many medical issues, but what most people don't know is that there are alternatives. This alternative is called holy basil, as my partner Meredith has said earlier, and it's been used for over 5,000 years. Holy basil is usually consumed through tea and is a herb. In India, it is considered the most powerful drug for 3,000 years. And they also claim that it's associated with the Hindu god Vishnu. They say that it promotes long life and personal growth and health. Holy basil gives self-pain relief without the effects that come with marijuana. Holy basil can help diabetes and respiratory disorders as well. If there is an alternative to this killer hidden behind the name medical, then why aren't we using it?
My opponent has said that smoking marijuana will give you lung disease and lung cancer. However, in a study conducted by the University of California, by the way, this was a 20-year study conducted by the University of California, it proved that smoking a marijuana cigarette occasionally, by that they mean about once a month or less, it can improve your lung capacity and volume. Also, my opponent has also said that it can cause depression. Depression is one of the diseases that medical marijuana can help treat. Also, when a doctor prescribes medical marijuana, it's for medical use. And so the patient goes back in for testing and drug tests, and they get their health checked for addiction and things like that. And if they are addicted to it or they are abusing it, the doctor will cut them off. Therefore, medical marijuana should be used.
My opponent stated that marijuana is addictive, but we disagree because many other pain medications, such as morphine, is much more addictive than marijuana, and it is still legal in the United States today. Therefore, medical marijuana should be legal in the United States because it is less addicting than prescribed pain medication. My teammates and I said that medical marijuana should be legal in the United States because it can help many diseases such as epilepsy, arthritis, muscle spasms, and many more. Marijuana just doesn't help people with illnesses. It helps everyone, including the government. It can help the government because marijuana has such a high tax rate. The government can use this money towards building roads, construction, healthcare, and any of the things our community may need. Many people don't want medical marijuana in our country because they believe it does more harm than good. But it only depends on the patient and how they decide to use it. They can either use it in a pill or gas form, or they can also choose to smoke it if they feel the need. Medical marijuana can help our country out even more. It can create jobs for the laid off and unemployed. Our country is already having problems with the laid off and unemployment rate, and we can't stand to take much more. As stated by Danko, Washington and Colorado have seen a tremendous amount of job creation in the wake of their marijuana initiatives. The jobs the marijuana industry can provide are dispensers, factory workers, transporters, and crop growers. Legalizing marijuana for medical use can change America for the better because it can give the people who are laid off and unemployed money that they can use to support themselves and their family. This change will legalizing marijuana will help bring our economy out of the debt we are in now.
My opponents have said that medical marijuana can help people with things like depression and cancer and things, but according to the dictionary, medicine is a compound or preparation used for treatment or prevention of a disease. If cancer can cause things such as cancer or depression, then why would you be using it to treat the same thing that it caused? Therefore, medical marijuana is pretty much only harming what it is helping. My teammates and I have said that medical marijuana is a danger to the public and should not be legal. Marijuana is a drug made from the cannabis plant, and when smoked, it creates a sort of high that numbs pain and makes people unaware of their surroundings. But marijuana is a killer and should not be used without first analyzing all the hazards it can cause. Marijuana harms more than it helps. It can cause things such as cancer, depression, psychosis, anxiety, and many other mental and physical defects. Medical marijuana can also impair judgment. It could be overused and become addicting. And when smoked, it can make people unaware of their surroundings, so while driving, they could cause things such as a car crash and put others in danger. Also, it can cause memory loss, appetite loss, sleep loss, and loss of motivation. But there is an alternative to marijuana called holy basil. It works the same as marijuana, except it has less physical defects than mental and physical defects. So why would you use marijuana if you can use something else without getting harmed? My teammates and I would also like to point out some of the occurrences that have happened since the legalization of marijuana in some states. Since legalization of marijuana in Colorado, some people have opened up stores that sell marijuana to people who are medical marijuana patients. Since then, many of them have been broken into on various occasions and even been held at gunpoint by people who want the marijuana but cannot get it because they are not medical marijuana patients. If they make stores for people medical marijuana patients to be able to go out and get the marijuana, then it is easier for the public to access, making it more likely to be abused, causing violent crimes around the city. We feel that there are other ways to fix the problems people are having besides medical marijuana, but until it is illegal in all states, it will continue to harm and endanger others. I found a poem written by a child whose father died from cancer that was caused by the use of marijuana. And it goes, if you smoke pot, your teeth will rot. Kids think drugs are cool, so they bring them to school. They don't care they will probably die. They think it's just going to pass by. Drugs will mess with your head as soon as you'll find yourself dead. Using dope will make you go dope. I hope you won't or don't do drugs. They're the same as pesky bugs. Marijuana has ruined this child's father's life, and if legalized, even for medical purposes, it will continue to harm and endanger others.
My opponent may say that marijuana treats disease and also helps. But why would you use marijuana to treat depression when it causes depression? If it can cause a disease, why would a doctor who wants to make you feel better prescribe it to you? Therefore, marijuana can hurt more than it helps. Also, my opponent may say that a patient who uses medical marijuana got better because of it, but post hoc ergo propter hoc, which translates to after this, therefore because of this. Just because they got better doesn't mean it was because of marijuana. Therefore, marijuana may or may not help a patient get better. They could have been on some other type of drug that could have helped them.
Claimed that medical marijuana or any sort of marijuana causes you to lose appetite, but I find this to be untrue, as marijuana is used to treat wasting diseases such as anorexia and starving, people that starve themselves. Also, harming when it is helping, what does that mean? Doesn't that mean that it helps when it harms? Also, the main reason that medical marijuana is used to treat sickness is because of a chemical in it called THC, or tetrahydrocannabinol. THC in its purest form is incredibly resistant to UV light, meaning that it can protect you from skin cancer and many other types, well, mainly skin cancer. If we use THC in its purest form, it can be like a super sunscreen, and we'll never have to worry about getting skin cancer or anything like that. I also have an uncle who lives in California, one of the very few states where marijuana is legal. All he has to do in the morning before well, I don't know when he takes it, but all he has to do is take his pill, take a glass of water, and he's fine. He can just keep going. He doesn't have to smoke it and risk harming his lungs. Also, he used to live in another state. I don't know which, but he had to move to get his medical marijuana. Would you really want to move and leave your friends, family, and your job behind just so that you can be better for something that isn't legal in every state that should be? One of the goals of the preamble in the Constitution is to promote the general welfare. Well, by not allowing medical marijuana, we're not doing that because there are many people that need it throughout the U.S. Therefore, medical marijuana should be legal because it helps people. They won't have to move. You can do many things with it, such as make yourself more